I'm going to be sharing with you in this video how to trust your intuition and manifest your dream life while doing it. Because here's the thing, is that the more you can trust in your intuition, the more you're going to be able to live into the reality that you prefer to experience. Because your intuition is always speaking to you. It's always telling you where to go. It's always telling you which reality is going to feel better and which reality is going to feel worse. But here's the interesting thing that I always find super powerful is that a lot of us literally have never been taught to trust in our intuition. Some people have intuition. They're born with intuition. They have these intuitive gifts, these intuitive powers to be able to create their reality into existence, but they've never learned to trust it. And this is because society bashes intuition. And I'm here to clear that in this video. I'm here to tell you how to use your intuition to make better decisions in your life, to align with the path that you prefer to experience, and specifically in the context of this video, manifest your dream life. So if you're new to this channel, what I want you to do is I want you to hit that subscribe button. I want you to hit that notification bell because I do post a new video every single day. Also, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation to see if you're a good fit for the coaching program, to work with me personally one-on-one. Also, I do have a group program coming up in the next couple of months. So if you want more details on the program, and if you want to be a part of the program, which enrollment is closing soon, so definitely check out the link if you want to be part of it. The link will be in the description box of this video as well. So what's the first thing we can do? The first thing we can do to trust in our intuition, how to trust in your intuition and manifest your dream life while doing it, is to understand that the highest timeline always comes when you trust in your intuition. Now, what am I referring to when I talk about the highest timeline? What I'm talking about is the fact that right now, from this present moment, from right now, after you watch this video, or even right now, in this moment, exists infinite probabilities. Now, some probabilities are more likely to happen than others, but there's many different probabilities that can happen from this present moment. Maybe somebody calls you, maybe you get into an argument, maybe somebody sends you money, maybe you get an email. Whatever it is that happens, there's probabilities that can happen. And what is it that changes these probabilities? What is it that is needed to change within you in order to change the probability of certain outcomes happening in your life? It is your frequency. And when you can learn to trust in your intuition more, you then raise your vibrational state of being, which is a fancy way of saying your emotional state. It's so funny because in society, we never question, like, what is this thing called emotion? It's energy in motion. It's this feeling in your body, but it's more significant than most people make it out to be. Your emotions are a powerful compass guiding you to your dream life. And most people don't realize that how you feel in your body is much more valid than you think. Now, we're going to get to that later. But first of all, just understand that the first step to this entire process is just have an understanding, even at a logical level at the beginning. Even if it's just logical for now. Even if you're just taking my word for it for now, although I invite you to get an experience of it later, for now, the first step, at the very least, is to have an understanding that the highest possible reality that exists for you is going to come from how aligned you are with your intuition, how connected you are to your highest frequency, to the highest energy field that is possible for you. And this is what is going to allow you to manifest your reality into existence, is going to help you to manifest the life you really want. When you're talking to a friend and your stomach has a pit and you feel this negative energy in your body start to build up, and then your intuition tells you in the form of your emotions maybe you shouldn't go in that direction. It's not a thought, but it's just like this, like if you're conscious enough, you'll feel that in certain environments you don't feel quite good, and maybe you talk with a certain person or you go into a certain place at work or wherever, and then you go in that direction. What happens is that when you go against your intuition, literally what happens is you're energetically opening yourself up to realities that are in harmony with that frequency. That's exactly what's happening. And your intuition comes from how conscious you are of that. So there's nothing wrong with whatever reality you choose, right? You can choose any reality you want. There's no judgment coming from me. You know, I'm not judging you. The universe is not judging you. Maybe other people on the planet will, but I'm not going to. And I'm here to tell you that you can choose whatever path you want, but be conscious that you are opening yourself up to timelines and you know, you might even say parallel realities, depending on what words you want to use here. But when I explain it in the way of probability, it makes more sense to some people. And it sounds less woo-woo, but it's all the same thing. The reality that is more probable for you to experience is going to come from the frequency that you're resonating on. And for me personally, when I don't trust in my intuition, I've even tested this to go consciously against my intuition, and things start to change in my external world pretty quickly. Now, in the short term, it's not that big of a deal. It becomes more of a problem when you let that negative energy compound over time. And that's the direction you don't want to go in, right? And it's okay if you do, no judgment, but just be conscious of what you're doing. Be conscious that everything is energy. Now, we're going to get to that later. I don't want to confuse you too much here, but the first point is just to consider that the highest reality, because that was an example of lower realities, right? But the highest timeline, the most preferable reality, is always going to be in alignment with a high frequency feeling. Don't take my word for this, because some people might have doubt. They might have anxiety around this topic. They might think that I'm lying to them. Don't believe me. Don't believe me. If you believe me, that's a great start, and I invite you to be open to what I'm sharing. But the better download that can come in for you, again, download is just a word, is when you can actually start to say, oh my God, when I go against how I feel and I'm lying to myself in my life, and I have a logical story about why I need to be in this low frequency environment or with this low frequency human being, no judgment, but maybe you're talking to somebody and you feel like you're at a low frequency, when you can start to see that your external reality is a reflection of your frequency, and then you start to see those opportunities coming in your life. I know it's hard to believe, right? It's like, wait, Francis, how does that work? It's not a logical thing. It's an energetic frequency thing, because everything in life is energy. So the more that you can learn to trust in your frequency and trust in your vibration, you'll start to notice that it doesn't make any logical sense, but you start to see more synchronicities. I know it's hard to communicate this, because when you communicate this, it's like we want to grasp it with the mind, right? But this is not a logical thing. This is about learning to trust in your energy. Now, again, I don't want to get too carried away here, but basically, the first point in this video is the highest frequency always leads to the highest timeline. Just keep that in mind for now. We'll get to the more subtle details later in this video and in other videos as well, as we keep going deeper into this topic. But the second thing you want to consider is let go of trying to understand this logically. Right? This is where all the resistance comes in. All the resistance comes in when we try to think about this logically, because it energetically makes sense. If you just trust your intuition and you can let go of any negative stories in your mind that are going against what your intuition has been telling you all along, what your heart has been telling you all along, because you might already know this in your heart. We've just never been reaffirmed to live and embody the truth that we have within us as human beings. Now, I could say something like only empaths have this gift, but I don't think that's true. I would go as far as to say that every single human being has intuitive abilities and psychic abilities. Some people just are more aware of it than others. Some people have owned it more than others. Some people are more sensitive and are just more conscious of it. They're more connected to themselves. But the thing is though, the more that we have a logical story where we go against our true frequency, that there's like, here's the thing. There's no chance you can be highly trusting in your intuition and have a negative story around how all this stuff is woo-woo at the same time. Those two things don't come together. Either you watch this video and you trust your intuition, or you believe in that story. If you're in the middle, yeah, you'll get some results. You'll kind of trust your intuition half and half. You know, sometimes you won't believe it, but that's when you don't manifest your dream life. If you really want to manifest the highest possible timeline, just if you're too afraid to do this, to make some drastic life decision, because again, you can't take my word for it. Test it. Test it for yourself. Try to see what happens in your life if you erase all logical stories and you fully trust in your heart for like a couple days. You know, and again, I don't want to be like telling you what to do, because I believe that we all need to go into we need to trust in our intuition. You know, what I tell you is not going to do much. You have to kind of trust. You have to receive this message from your heart. You have to get it. You have to let it come in through the heart. I can't tell a person to love themselves. They have to come to the conclusion that loving themselves is the answer. But what I will tell you for now though is that what the logical mind does is it actually can block our intuition. Now, there's nothing wrong with logic. Logic is powerful. We need our logic for survival purposes. We need our logic to make simple moves in life that are going to take care of our survival, that are going to take care of the way we live our life, that are going to take care of our food and our water, and you know, what next step should I take in my life. But you actually find out that oftentimes when you can let your energy and your intuition become an embodiment of who you are, the right logical action will come from that space of alignment. And then what happens is, when we're completely in alignment with a high frequency, with our intuition, all the logic that needs to happen just gets sorted out in your life automatically, just like magic. The order, I've honestly found that the more I let go, and the more that I let go of controlling my life, the more structure I have in my life, the more order I have in my life, the more organized I become in whatever way works for me in each moment. And the more that I force things and I need them to be organized, my organization gets a lot worse. You know, when I'm in a high frequency, things just kind of follow the flow and I'm still doing what I have to do and it all works out. And this only happens when I let go of trying to understand things with my logical mind. So the next step to trust your intuition is try to let go of your logical mind in this process. You know, too much logical stories, too much thinking about how all this manifestation intuition stuff works, plus feeling into your heart, is just not a combo that's gonna work for the purposes of how to trust your intuition to manifest your dream life. You know, you can't have both. Either you trust in your intuition or you hold on to the story that it's all woo-woo. If you want to be somewhere in the middle, by all means, go ahead, but it's going to be limited. Because here's the problem. The reason why I tell you this, the reason why I say let go of your logical mind, let go of trying to understand your intuition logically and feel more into your heart, feel into the present moment, still do what you have to do, honor your humanness, honor the logical steps you need to take, but just trust in your heart as a foundational way of living for your life. Not because I told you, but because maybe there's a seeing of the consequences of listening to the mind too much. And the reason why I say all of this is because think about it like this. Your mind is a limitation. Your mind is a limitation. There's infinite probabilities that exist. And even if you have the right affirmations, even if you have the right visualizations, there's realities that exist that you can't even imagine. There's certain things that exist for you that are impossible for you to imagine right now. And your intuition already knows that, because your intuition is connected to the divine. And the divine is the universal intelligence that runs all things. And the universal intelligence is infinite. And this infinite universal intelligence can literally conjure up infinite possibilities. And your intuition is a lot closer to that than your limited thinking mind. So the problem with trying to figure this stuff out logically is that you're putting a limitation on yourself, and you're blocking yourself from fully stepping into your power and trusting in the universal intelligence that is within you. Now, the third thing that you can do to really trust your intuition is own your intuition 100%. Just own it 100%. You have so many empaths. Don't attach to that label. Don't create an identity around it. So many people that are so connected to their souls, to their hearts. Don't ever attach to the word that I'm saying. It's the deeper meaning behind the word. We have people that are connected to our energies. They're connected to their hearts. They're connected to some people call it their core frequency. Your soul, your heart, your core frequency, whatever word you want to use. They're empaths, they're sensitive beings, they're whatever. It's all just labels. They're connected to who they truly are. You have so many people that are born into this world. I honestly believe that right now, some people are just born with spiritual gifts. They're just born with spiritual gifts. And they've never learned to own it 100%. Some people have to work harder for it, so to speak. I don't want to say work harder, because when you meditate, your life feels easier. But the thing is though, I think the biggest problem these days is not that we haven't developed our intuition, although yeah, you do need to develop it, do more meditation, follow your heart more. Yeah, it is something you can develop. But I think that a bigger problem is that we've never owned our intuition 100%. I think that a lot of people already have intuition, they just never learn to trust in it fully. They're doubting their intuition. They did the half and half. Oh, maybe like there's the part of your mind that says, oh, maybe all this is fake. And what would happen if you were just to own it 100%? How would your life change if you fully owned what your heart told you on a moment-to-moment basis? How would your life shift if you trusted in your intuition always, unapologetically? Don't apologize to somebody for owning in your intuition. How would your life shift? Do you think that your external reality would change if you began to trust in your intuition more? See what happens. Trust in your intuition 100%. Own the fact that if you're watching this channel, you're probably more connected to your intuitive abilities than you might think. Because the thing is though, if you're attracted to this channel, you are energetically in alignment with this frequency that I'm emitting right now. Which means that you're vibrating at a similar frequency that I am, and you're resonating with this topic, and especially if you're watching this video this far. You haven't clicked off yet. And so what I'm here to tell you is that, is it possible that maybe you haven't fully owned the gifts that you were born to have in this world? The person that you were born and meant to be. Is that a possibility? Is it a possibility that you're already gifted with an incredibly powerful intuition, but you've never owned it 100%? I'm honestly under the impression that yeah, you can train your intuition, you got to do things like meditation, but I also see that so many people have an incredibly powerful intuition. And they come to me for free consultations. So like, oh, what's wrong with me? I go to this person, I feel anxiety. I'm doing school and I feel anxiety. And I do this and it's like, dude, your intuition's just through the roof and you've never trusted it. That's why you feel anxiety when you talk to that person. That's why you feel anxiety when you're studying for something that your parents told you to do. That's why you feel anxiety when you're talking to that, whatever you do. When you're out of alignment with your intuition, you're going to feel anxiety. You're going to feel powerlessness. You're going to feel not good. You're going to feel what I call out of alignment. And yes, developing your intuition is powerful, but honestly, owning your intuition is part of what it means to develop your intuition. the more that you can own fully in your intuition and own fully what brings you more peace and more joy and leads you to a higher frequency, that's part of the process of developing it. So the last thing I want to share with you is, have you ever owned your intuition 100%? Just like, yep, if something doesn't feel right to me, I'm not doing that. Like if something, this feels intuitively wrong, yep, I'm not going to do that. Have you ever owned that? Or do you sometimes trust in it and sometimes the mind says, oh, no. You know, this thing I have to do, right? I can trust my intuition here, but over here, no. I need to be realistic, right? This is what the mind does. This is what happened to me along my process. I trusted in my intuition, but then when it came to the big life decisions, like, oh, I need to drop out of school because this is not serving me anymore. I don't feel good doing this thing that I'm doing. I used to do software development. I didn't enjoy what I was doing. I didn't feel good doing it. I was able to trust in my intuition and trust the universe. But then when my heart feels better not going to school, oh, no, you can't trust it there. Right? The mind will come up with all sorts of stories when it's attached to certain things and it's afraid of, things to do with money. At least for me, that's how it was. But then when I decided to own it 100%, that's when my life shifted. More relationships that are in alignment with my highest self. The job opportunities that were more in alignment with what I love to do. The right books came into my life. The right people came into my life. Things start to come into your life almost like magic when you can own your intuition 100%. Life becomes like a dream. It becomes magical. And I can't prove that to you. Test it and let me know in the comments below what happens if you decide to. Okay, let me know in the comments down below if you decide to test this, because this is powerful stuff. I want to know how this personally has affected you. Have you ever trusted your intuition and saw the opportunities come into your life? Let me know in the comments below. Help the people that have not fully trusted in their intuition by leaving a comment down below and let us know what results you've achieved in your life, how much closer you've gotten to manifesting your dream life, the more that you trust your core frequency. And also let me know in the comments down below if you've ever went against your intuition and how you felt and what happened there as well. Let me know in the comments down below. Stories like this can help other people to see the power of what can be on offer for them if they trust in themselves 100%. Okay, so that's all I have for this video. Once again, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation. Also, I do have a group program coming up in the next couple of months. So if you want more details on the program, and if you want to be a part of the program, which enrollment is closing soon, so definitely check out the link. If you want to be part of the program or know more details, the link will be in the description box of this video. So that's all I have for you today. As always, have yourself a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.